All right, I'm in the cabin I built in the back of my property, and I brought all my different camping gear out here. Day pack, and clothes, and Gore-Tex jacket here. What I'm doing right now, every time I go backpacking, I forget something. So tomorrow I'm hiking Mt Lafayette, and I don't want to get up there and find I don't have a pot or pan. As a matter of fact, the pot that I need better be in that pack, or I'll have to go looking for it. I'm going to bring, this is another one of those BioLite stoves. The first one I had, it worked great, and then there was some electronic problem with the board in it, and there was no problem with customer service though. They said it was defective. They had me mail it back, gave me a return shipping thing and all that, and then sent me that one out. I actually got that one, the replacement for my original, before my original even went out to them. So BioLite, good service. This second one I tested out only twice, just field tests in the, not field tests, like tests out in the yard. And it worked fine both times. We'll see if it keeps up. It has gotten me the Mount Musalaki video that I did on here. This stove actually made it possible for me to film all that, because it charges the phones and other small devices like that just with burning wood. You'll see that when I get up there, when I start making my meals. I got the Mountain House meals. These things are great. I mean, a little bit of weight to them. I'm going to have to work them into the pack there. I actually, that's another reason I'm going through this, because I used it winter backpacking recently. Well, not recently because it's summer, but I mean this past late winter, early spring. And it's still, I found a pair of gloves in it I had to take out, winter gloves and stuff. Everything to save a couple ounces here and there, because it's a big hike. And Musalaki, I think, was the steepest one, going by the Beaverbrook Trail. But Lafayette, I mean, you're going to 4,000 something feet, and the trailhead's down at the highway, so it's a lot of elevation gain. The trail's a little longer though, so that makes it so it's less of a grade as you're going up. There is a switchback or two on there. I'll show the map when I have that. Alright, I made it. I'm at the trailhead now. This is for the old bridle path right here. Take a look at even just the trail. I look where I'm going up. You can see all those right there. I'll be actually going on the back side here, behind the trees. I think this trail is less steep. I mean, it looks punishing, but I guess it's better than the last one I went on at Musalaki, so we'll see how this goes. Got all my gear on, ready to go. I just have to get hiking. You can probably hear the water back in behind me, right here. This is just near the start, a little ways in from the trailhead. I was just talking to some other hikers. I guess this trail is a moderate grade the whole way to where I have to drop the pack, which is great because this thing is huge and it weighs a lot. I mean, I'm expecting thunderstorms in the next couple of days that I'm up here, and I was gonna bring my 3-season tent, but last time I had a decent downpour, I brought that. It worked, but it got some water inside. Another thing I did right when I stopped here, something you should always bring with you when you're backpacking or hiking is just a simple bandana. You can do so many things with it. Filter water, cover your head up if you have to from the sun. I'm using it to cool down. So I took some water out of the river here, soaked the bandana in it, and you wrap it around your carotid arteries, around your neck here, and it cools your body temperature down as your blood passes through by the bandana. You have to do it periodically throughout the way, but yeah, that's another good practice to have. If it's like right now, it's 86 degrees out. It's really hot. My My pants are convertible, they switch into shorts. From now I'm fine, but I might end up doing that. So we'll see. I made some elevation gain. You can see back in behind me here, you can see off to the other side of the valley. There's a water source down there, you can hear it running. Man, this is punishing. Man, I will tell you what, I cannot wait to drop this pack up at that shelter. I'm getting up here. I mean, I still got a good amount more to go. I'm not doing it all today. I'll get up to the summit tomorrow. But check out this. Look at that. That's how far up the one next to me is. At least I'm starting to see stuff out here, though. There's one part up there, I don't know if you could see it, that bare area, that was a landslide at one time. All the trees slid down the hill there, probably some winter a long time ago. Or maybe not that long ago, because the trees are still not starting to grow back yet, but this just keeps going. It's funny, every group I talk to, no matter how far I'm hiking up here, everyone says, oh yeah, it's like 2 miles, 2 miles left. And I feel like I've gone another like mile. I'm like, it's like 2 miles. Like, thanks. That's a big help. There we go, now it's opened up a little bit. This trip, I was looking at the weather. It's down there. I was looking at the weather for this area in the next 4 days, and looks like it's going to be partly cloudy like this, but with scattered T-storms at night, except for today. I might luck out today. As long as I can get down to where I'm going to camp at, and then there's the trail down there, and get my tent set up, I'm all set. I got a four-season tent that's completely waterproof, so I'm not worried about any rain or any, even if it's a heavy downpour. I've been in this tent during a downpour like that, and perfectly dry inside. I actually, I think it was the first time I was on Mount Lafayette. I was hiking up to one of the side trails that near one of the camping areas they have. It's not like an AMC shelter, it's just a camping area. My tent was set up. It started raining. I got back to the tent, and when I got back, there was so much rainwater going under my tent that you could see a little river going under it. And I went inside. The floor was bone dry. I was laying on it, and perfectly dry, even with the water like gushing under the tent. Really nice tent. It's a Eureka high camp. Well, I dropped my pack for the first time since leaving the car. I found this really cool rocky ledge here. The trail goes right by people. I mean, it's really skinny. It's almost like a knife edge up here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll move over here. I guess the summit's right up there. But look at this. Take a look at this drop. You get a sense of vertigo looking down on that. Look at that. Man, I'm worn out. I just stopped to grab some food, make my pack a little lighter. Dried cranberries. These are actually really good. High in antioxidants and all that. I got jerky in there. I got my Mountain House meals. And these things actually weigh a fair amount. So anything I can eat down and get some weight off my back will be a plus. Oh. Really cool. I lucked out for right now. The sky's looking nice. No storms look like they're coming in yet. Oh, man, guys, I finally found a place to call home here. Got that pack off. That felt so good getting that pack off. Oh, man. The trail is somewhere in behind me, back that way. I found this clearing right here. I'll just have to figure out the levelest spot in here, and then set up. Obviously, I'm thinking somewhere right around here. Now, if you can, just barely see through the trees right there. You can see the lake down there. You can probably hear the people at the AMC hut. They're kind of loud over there, just chatting with each other. Yeah, it's so late in the day right now. I gotta set up. If I don't, right now, I think it's like 7 o'clock, and maybe a little bit after, a little bit earlier. But if I don't get my stuff ready to go right now, I'm gonna be in a world of hurt when the sun starts going down. Man. Alright, so I'll show you after I get set up. I gotta make some food too. But tent first, stuff out of the pack, all that crap. Alright, I'll show you the site up there in a bit. Right now I got everything set up, and then I came back down here to the AMC hut, which is right there on the hill. And the reason is the water. I got my water bladder here. This is a platypus. This is the one I used originally. I've taken this thing on dozens of hikes all over the place. I mean, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, just everywhere. I got a camelback one that has like the big screw thing that seats on it to fill the water. Like you unscrew it, flip it open. And in my last trip, it was brand new, probably the first time I used it. It ended up leaking all over the inside of my pack and got all my stuff wet. And it's supposed to be this special seal thing that works great, and I mean, it's pretty idiot-proof too. You take the cap, you put it in, and there's a little point that you set it in at, and then you turn it to the little arrow, and then it locks in place. And I mean, it doesn't go any further than where that arrow is. So I did exactly that. I pushed it in, twisted it to the lock position, and it leaked all over my bag, all over my stuff inside. So I went back to the platypus, which has never failed me. The only reason I got the other one was because the mouthpiece here is starting to leak a little bit. It's fine, but yeah. So on this hike, I didn't want to go through that again and get up here and not be able to, or you know, have a pack full of soaked stuff. So that's what I did. I brought that one. It's the hoser. It's a 3-liter one, and I brought this extra bottle here just to make like the little powder drinks. I have those up at the site. I'll show you. And my Ketadin filter here. This is the one I use for this. Good for 13,000 gallons of water. It has a ceramic element with silver impregnated in the middle, and the silver kills microbacteria, and the ceramic makes the sort of porous filter for the water. This water's moving. It's actually coming from, so you can see it right there, that lake. That's Eagle Lakes, sorry. I don't know if there's any fish on it or anything, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool place. The sun's set behind me here. They got all the lights on in the hut over there. Well, let me get to it. In my other videos, you've seen me use this thing. You just pump it and it fills the thing up. It's kind of slow, but it makes sure you're not going to get Giardia or Cryptosporidium or any of that stuff to give you the run. So that's why I like this one. Can't use it in the winter. Once you've used it, you can use it once in the winter, and then you can't leave it out to dry. Even if it's by the campfire, it still freezes up. The water inside it that's left freezes up even after you take it apart. That's the only disadvantage to this one, but I have iodine tablets too, so I could use those. I just don't like using them. I'd rather use a filter, so that's why I have this. But I'm gonna get to work. Alright, let's see if I can get a good view. I am really tucked in back here. There's the tent. It's the Eureka High Camp. I just barely fit the vestibule over here on one side. You can see, I mean, the trees are everywhere. I mean, there's the top of the tent. The trees go right up to the top. I mean, 6 inches above maybe. Got my stuff hanging up in the tree over there. I just filled up, you saw the water bladder, and got the my shirt and bandana drying out. There's the BioLite stove. Some of my food. I just gotta. The trouble I'm having now is I gotta find something to use as a hammer on that knife to split the wood into smaller pieces for the stove. I'm sure I'll find something around here. It's just a matter of looking. Mountain house meals. I am so exhausted right now. Man, I almost don't have the energy to make food, but I gotta make food because I gotta eat. Keep up my energy. So that's gonna be my next task. Brought my tripod again so I can do some of this stuff. Right now my phone is at 79% battery. I had it on airplane mode most of the time just so I could videotape. What I'm gonna do is get this fire going in this, cook some food, charge this, and see how far I can get on the charge as far as what percentage it goes up to after making the meal and everything. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. Alright, I apologize for the picture quality. It's I know it's really grainy. It's nighttime. I have my headlamp up here. That's all I'm using to get light for this area. I did find my my hammer block, a piece of wood here. I had to take it off. It was a branch someone had snapped off already that was still attached to the tree. I had to get something off the ground. Everything here is so soaked and saturated with water that although it's heavy, it's all rotted, so it's spongy. But I've showed this before in my videos too. This is what I use to cut it. It's a Felco 600. Got some nasty teeth on it. Yeah. Nice thing about this one, close it up, is it compacts into, I mean, that's it. I just stick it in my backpack. It's got a little, I mean, it's not heavy. As far as a saw goes, this is a lot lighter than the collapsible ones that you can buy that are sort of like a square or rectangle. You assemble them and then they look like a rectangle. This one just folds in half and it eats right through wood. Eat right through this. This time I ended up bringing some oak from the last backpacking trip in Connecticut that I went to. I did a lot of work that time. That one was in an actual backpacking shelter. Sorry guys, I just haven't got around to posting all the videos. I do have other ones. I have that one. I have one of more reptile hunting out in central Connecticut. This one, I'm building the cottage that you saw in the beginning of the video here. When I was getting everything prepared, that's still not done. 2 sides need to be shingled. It needs sheetrock on the ceiling, like the roof rafters, and little odds and ends here and there. But as soon as I get back from this trip, I took the week off from work so I could do this and do that. I'm gonna finish up doing all the rest of the stuff I need to do on that cottage or cabin, so it's done and finished, and then I'll get around to posting all these, so it'll probably end up being on YouTube with just, 1, 2, 3, or however many I have. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to trying to make some food real quick. Well, I got my my BioLite stove turned on here. At least for the time being, I shouldn't have any trouble. Oh, excuse me, keeping it going. Again, this is a replacement for an original one that I had that the power head here was defective. It wouldn't, I mean, you'd have a roaring fire in there and it wouldn't, what's supposed to happen is you get a fire going, it gets to a certain temperature, and the excess heat goes into the, it's a thermal converter, it's a copper rod that goes up into this combustion chamber, and that rod converts the heat to electricity. Once a certain amount of electricity has been met, the oops, sorry, I gotta fill this up. A certain amount of heat has been met. The electricity gets converted to the charge, or sorry, diverted to the charging port, and it charges your accessories like my phone. So yeah, measuring cup. The other one, you'd have like I said, you'd have a roaring fire in it, and it wouldn't charge. It would just, I mean, you could have the biggest fire you could imagine, and it just wouldn't charge. So I explained the symptoms and then sent it back, and they replaced it without question with a new one. This one here, I've only used in the yard like twice to see how it worked. It worked fine. There we go. Cup number 2. Alright. Now, if you look over here, let me turn that a little bit. It's not really facing you right, but you can see there. This is amber. What'll happen, a green light will come on here, this little bar on the bottom. There's a weather protecting cover for the USB port, and a green light will come on. That means that it's okay to charge stuff. And then I can plug my phone in and charge it up. Right now it's at 77%. Last time I said 79, I texted my wife actually. So I had to turn airplane mode back on. I'm going to plug it in right now. And hopefully this will meet the temperature requirements it needs. It shouldn't have any trouble. This is oak right here. I mean, you can see the flames starting to come up in there now. That's one thing about these White Mountains. All the wood that's out here, it's out here. There's birch, there's evergreens and stuff, but it's all soaked. I mean, you can definitely find stuff, because if you, I don't know if you can see up here, right, probably not, right there. This stuff is nice and dry. So if you just, I've mentioned that again in other videos too. If you make sure you grab wood that isn't on the ground, isn't on the top of the tree, because the top of the tree is getting wet too. Right in the middle somewhere, all the dead stuff, especially evergreens, pines and stuff. The whole center of the tree where the dead branches are, that's all good and dry. The canopy protects them from the rain, and they're not on the ground. So, I mean, right now there's so much moss growing all over where I'm laying. It's probably second to Mount Washington when I was up there. It felt like, when we camped out there, it felt like you were sleeping on a mattress because there was so much moss. It was so spongy. It was great, actually. I had a great night's sleep then. I'm hoping to have some of the same here. Only thing about where I have my tent set up is go. That thing's roaring away over here. It's funny, the my like I said, my tent is leaning downhill a little bit, so I'm gonna sleep on the uphill slope here. My head at the uphill slope, and it should be comfortable enough, especially with all the moss. But I'm so glad I brought this. I would have the toughest time right now trying to use my Felco saw and my knife to split everything up, because that's what I have to do. I have to use this to cut it into little logs, and then I use this to the knife to split the logs. All right, that green light there doesn't mean that it's ready to charge. There it goes. Now it's charging. I don't know if you heard that on the microphone there, but the sound sort of bogged down a little bit. What happens is, because the power's getting diverted to the USB charger, the fan sort of like dogs down a little bit, and that's exactly what I think would just happen. This water is actually almost boiled already too. Man, I love this oak. I mean, this stuff just, it burns long. This stuff's all dried out. It's already been seasoned. I think the last trip I went on where I used it was in early spring, late winter, and during that trip, yeah, I gathered all this stuff. I actually had like 10 times as much as this. I used probably an equal amount. I was only there for 2 nights, so I used I don't know, maybe a small bundle like that just for the cooking part, and then sorry, God guys, I am so exhausted. I used the leftover stuff to make a campfire, and I had bigger logs that I split into, I quartered up, that were, I don't know, probably about that big around, and whatever I didn't use, I left for the next person. Only reason I took this stuff is because it took me a while, and I made it the perfect size for this stove. So, I mean, you can, I don't know if you can see, but no, you probably can't. How about a down angle? Yeah, there you go. You can see it's already starting to steam up. I'm planning on being out here for a few nights, so I gotta make sure that this phone's good and charged to get everything. I mean, tomorrow I'm making the summit, so that's pretty much what matters. So if I can keep the phone up there as far as battery strength through tomorrow, I'll have the majority of what you're gonna want to see. The hike from the base down there where the car was up to here, which is the Greenleaf AMC hut is right behind me a while, I said earlier. There's the Eagle Lakes down the slope from me, and then up the other slope is where the AMC hut is. It's up on a little bluff. It's actually not much of a hut. And if you looked at it, it looks like a full-blown house. It's really nice. Sort of got an L shape to it. There's a lot of people over there right now having a good time too. I can hear them, like families with kids and stuff. There's my mountain house. Love these things. It's funny, actually, a side story about these. I used to buy them all the time from Walmart because it was the cheapest price around. They had them in the camping section, and for some odd reason, Walmart discontinued them, stopped carrying them, and then just maybe 3-4 weeks ago, they started carrying them again. They hadn't carried them for almost a year, and I don't know if it was public opinion, like customer opinion or something, but I guess the word got out because they started carrying them again. Glad for me. Only thing is they have a good selection. They have breakfast skillets. This one's rice and chicken, beef stew, macaroni, beef stroganoff. There's all kinds of stuff, but my favorite kind's the chicken a la king, and the chicken a la king they don't sell there. I mean, I've never found a Walmart. I've been to countless Walmarts in my area and up here and Pennsylvania and wherever, a whole bunch of places, and I've never seen that kind there. I had to get that kind from a specialty store, camping outfitter store called URE Outfitter, and it was more pricey, not by a lot, but enough. These Mountain House meals are pricey anyway, because the freeze drying process that you make them, it takes a lot. Hey, that's cool. It's got a rolling boil going right now. Oh no. Oh no. I just spilt some of it. That sucked. Oh well, I'm gonna add a little more. Ugh. I'll have to guesstimate how much I just spilled. There. I don't think that was enough. See what happens when you're super exhausted? Oh man. Another thing the BioLite stove comes with is these fire starters. The way they advertise them, and I've seen people with YouTube videos with testing of these things, of these stoves, they take the whole stick and throw it in there, and then, oh look, it works. What I do to conserve it, because I mean, you want to make this last as long as you can. When you're out here, you don't know if you're gonna have any kind of tinder or anything, so I usually just break a little corner off, get it going, and it's more than enough. If you have dry wood, if you prepared your stuff properly, it's more than enough to get the thing going. But, and another thing, this is bear country too, and God, I'm so exhausted. That's part of the reason I just spilled that water. I wasn't holding it right, wasn't paying attention, but I'm too tired to even do the proper things to prevent bear encounters. I'm supposed to take my food, put it in a bear bag. I have a small one that would work, and you're supposed to throw it up over a tree branch that's too high for it to get to, and tie it off away from your tent. I have beef jerky here. I'm going to take the beef jerky and keep that away because that's got a strong scent to it. The only other things are these Mountain House meals, which are freeze-dried and sealed, and the bear's not going to smell those. But I also have dried cranberries and dried pineapple, and there's a chance they might smell those, so I might take those out too. I'm just going to stick them over there. No bear bag, no nothing. The trees aren't really tall enough out here for that anyway. If I put them up there, a bear could easily get up and get it anyway. I might as well just put them over there, and if they come, they come. They probably won't because of the altitude I'm at, but they're only up here during like hibernation time. Coming out of hibernation in the early spring, they usually go up and then come down to forage for food, but right now they should be down in the valleys and stuff, pigging out. Man, I can't believe I just dumped the water out of that thing. Oh. Yeah, see? Here's what I meant. Right there. That's the light for the fan, and then this little bar under it with the USB is the charging thing. here's something to check out. This BioLite stove, yes, it's great. Yes, I like it. It isn't exactly as advertised. It advertises as a smoke-free burn. As you can see, it's not smoke-free. It's a smoke-free burn under ideal conditions. So, if you have seasoned dry wood, then yeah, it's going to burn the way it's supposed to. If you're up here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, everything's going to be damp, and it's going to do this. So I've already cooked my food. Well, kinda. I boiled my water. I put it in the Mountain House meal bag, and now I'm just waiting for it to reconstitute. There it goes. But this is not a. It's starting to. The smoke's starting to go away, but it's still there. And these are from. Now it's. I left my oak alone, and I'm using twigs from around me that I'm finding. Only reason I still have it running is so I can charge my phone. And to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure. I mean, some of this is smoke, yes, but I think some of it's just water boiling off the wood, like evaporating from the wood. But, I mean, look. So if you don't want the hassle, then get white gas or something, but I like this because it's charging my phone at the same time. That was something else I found out when I bought this stove. There we go. There it goes. Alright. Yeah, that's something else I found out when I bought this stove. It doesn't fit your standard backpacking solo kit. I had to buy this Primus. Can you even see that? No, I'll show you in the daytime. This Primus pot, it's got retractable handles and all that. You need something with a wider base to put over the top of it. It makes sense. I mean, they can't make it too small because it's got to have a combustion chamber that's functional. So if they made it too skinny, it probably wouldn't work right. I'm sure the engineers that made it decided this was the thickness it needed to be as far as the diameter of the combustion chamber. I like having a campfire. I like the ambiance, so I don't mind this at all. Let's see. I do have some wood over here. I found that wood around here that looks relatively dry. Someone else used this campsite before I did, obviously. There was a pretty established trail coming up to it off the main trail, and one of the pieces of wood I just threw in here I found had been whittled. Someone had carved on it a little bit. I don't know what they were doing with it, but probably just messing around. I may turn this on again. I may not. Wait till the morning. We'll see. Maybe you'll see me in a few, maybe you'll see me in the morning. Morning, guys. It's day 2, Mt Lafayette. I'll probably get a better look at my camp setup here. This was something else I brought down. It's called a walk stool. It's all aluminum, it's real light. Gives you a place to sit beside the stump. I had my water filter hanging over here, drying off from last night. It was actually getting kind of hard to pump because it was getting clogged. You can see the way you take care of that. It comes with a Scotch Brite pad, and you just use this on there. So even after a whole night of sitting there drying out, you can see it's still wet. So I just gotta use my, I have a camp towel in here too. I'll dry it off with that. There it is. I mean, you could use your bandana or whatever if you had one. This is just a cheapo thing from Walmart, but it gets the job done. I think, as a matter of fact, I am going to use my bandana. After a while, this thing gets super hard to pump the water out if you don't keep it kind of clean. There we go. Here's another thing it comes with too. It's sort of like a piece of sandpaper on a curved part too. There we go. Well, there's a better view of my Eureka High Camp tent. It's got the rain fly on it. We're supposed to get scattered thunderstorms for the next 3 days in the evening, afternoon time. So I just wanted to make sure I had that ready to go. Oh yeah, this too. Here's another thing. I filled this up yesterday. These bottles, you can get them at the grocery store, Stop and Shop, whatever. They had some kind of like flavored water in them, but the reason I kept this specific bottle, besides the fact that it's skinny and packable, is when you fill it to the top, it's the exact right amount to use these Propel fitness water packets. It's the exact amount. You just did 16 point something ounces. That's what this is. These bottles are, you just dump it in and shake it up and you're good to go. I'm going to try this other kind though. I got a store brand energy drink, peach mango. There it goes. It's about 9:15 right now. I'm back on the trail. My tent's not far down here. Here's what I'm looking at as far as where I've come from. It's steeper. It's steeper back down there, and then right up here. You can see all the trees are getting shorter too. I think it's only a mile to the summit from here. I might make one of the other summits today too, so I can cross another one off my list as far as the top 10. Man, you know, all the punishment I take getting up here, hauling my crap up and following the ridge lines and everything else. This is what makes it worth it. If you can see, probably not back in behind me, but check this out. The highway's down there. You can see how far I've come. There's the AMC hut right there. There's a void in front of the hut. That's the lake right there. I'm back in on this side of it. This is cool. Man, I'm so sore right now. My where the waistband of my pack rests against my hips, every step is just digging into it. It's so sore right now, right there, because of all the other way. I left my tent and foam mat, all that stuff, my sleeping bag, my walk stool, that's all down where I set up base camp. So my pack's a lot lighter right now. You can probably see here. Yeah, look at that. That's a lot smaller than it was coming up here. It's going to be almost that heavy again going back down too. Except the food's going to be gone, which will be nice because that, I mean, that weighs something. It'll be a little later at least, and it's downhills. Some of the tougher spots going downhill is actually a little more dangerous than going uphill. I'll have to really watch my step out there. Check it out. I just made it above the tree line. Only thing that grows up here because of all the wind and the harsh conditions is the grass and these small shrubs. There are a couple of birches like that one right there, but they don't get any bigger than that. Constantly getting beaten down. 93 is right down there. It's that one that's sneaking right there and then over there. And it looks like there's maybe a town or something down there. It's so sparsely populated out here, it's amazing. I mean, looking out in that valley there, I mean, there's houses dotted in here and there, but not much. And look how far I've come. The AMC hut's right there. That's where I'm heading. I almost feel like I did when I was hiking Mount Washington and we made it to this point. I was so drained. We just did that one straight from the car, straight to the summit, and man, or just about the summit. It was above the tree line anyway. Before we took a rest. And this trail looks like it goes off that way. Again, bear with me with the wind. Down there is where I came from, AMC hut, and then up here, I'm not quite at the summit yet, but I'm almost there. This is the reason I chose this mountain, this right here. It's what's left of another summer house. If you see my Mount Lafayette video, you've seen the summit house up on that one. Yeah. These things, because they're so far away from anything, they can't, when they catch on fire, like what's happened to most of them, they can't put it out. It's just too far away, too remote. So they end up just, when something happens, and back then when these were built, they were using like oil lamps and stuff for light. So someone knocks one over and they're out in the cold and the dark, so to speak. Look at that. Let's see if you can see there. That's Mount Lincoln. I don't think I'm going to make that summit. I mean, I don't know. I might. It's just I'm looking at the dip right there, and that's pretty far. job stacking this stuff up. There's the sign. I'm gonna get myself in front of it. Alright, I made it. I'm at the summit. There's no actual summit sign. There's a sign back in behind me here, but I think I'm actually higher up on this round than that is. There's what's left of the summit house right there. Here, I'm gonna turn this around and show you what I'm looking at. Alright, I'm starting my descent now back down to my base camp. Still turned out to be pretty nice. I lucked out. Everything is pretty clear up here too. It has been drizzling. We're supposed to get thunderstorms in the near future, early afternoon, mid-afternoon, something like that. So I'm just trying to get myself back to where I need to be before that happens. Gather some wood and stuff and store it away from my stove for food. Check it out. And then right down there. It's a cool hike. It really is. Once you get up here, like I said, getting up here sucks, especially carrying all your stuff. But once you're up here, it is so relaxing. I'm back at the AMC hut. It's so funny. Look at that thing. It's a big old house. It's not a hut. I made some food at the campsite. I actually broke the campsite down, and I'm gonna hike back. I got up there and I was hanging out, and like, you know what? On to the next. I'll go see what else is there. Maybe go to the Flume or something. Check that out for tomorrow. I'm still continuing my descent over here. You can see everything behind me. There's a lot of mountain out here. You know, it amazes me that some of the people that are passing me going up or down around here, they're really old. I mean, there's people that you'd look at in a grocery store and say, there's no way they're getting up a mountain, and they're flying right along. Good for them. I don't know if I'll be able to do that when I'm their age.